Alright, I just learned how not to use a CO2 pump. Good morning everyone! So today I am going for a ride, going to Box Hill, going to go for a spin up the hill, about 80k, so just getting the miles in for this week's Vata Rundown training. And as you can see, it's a bit of a mixed weather. There's a little blue sky, there's forecasted rain, but it is right now at 8 o'clock 11 degrees. So you can't miss out on this. Fantastically warm, so excited. So yeah, let's go for a ride. One of the downsides to living in London as a cyclist is getting out of London. I make my way through Richmond Park, then Kingston, then through Hampton Court, and finally I get myself out into some beautiful country lanes after about Esher, which takes about 40 to 45 minutes depending on traffic. So I'm here in Bushy Park right now, which is the start of the route I downloaded. I didn't want to go to the actual real start. So it's a bit of a new route for me as far as how to get to Box Hill, so hopefully it will be a nice ride with quiet roads, but let's find out. And on this day I went via Bushy Park, which is quite an interesting road to ride down. It's a nice good sprint finish at the end of a ride as well to test yourself. On the way out though, you pop out at Hampton Court and you find yourself starting to get into roads like these. They're still busy, but they're a lot prettier. And then eventually you get into the quieter lanes. One thing I did learn as a tip was when you're looking at a map and planning your route, if the road has the word lane in it, it's probably your best bet. It's probably going to be something beautiful like this, and you'll probably find yourself with a lot of greenery around you. And as a Canadian, seeing so much greenery in the winter is an absolute pleasure. It's so nice to have the colour. It could also be hilly though if it's a lane. Usually it involves hills as well. Unfortunately though, you can't avoid jerks like this. There's always some entitled driver somewhere driving irresponsibly. Nathan and I try not to let it ruin our days. We try to avoid speaking about it. However, last October we had just enough of it and we cut our ride short, took the train home. We just had too many dangerous passes and aggressive drivers. Once you get further out, you get into these beautiful, quiet lanes. The good thing about these as well is in the summer on a hot day, not that there are many in the UK, but you find yourself riding in the shade a lot, which is nice to keep cool. And when you get a good road like this, you can make the most of a nice downhill run. Sometimes they're a bit narrow for me, and you just have to ride to the conditions. Boo! Flat. A little while back I heard a sound coming from my rear wheel. Pulled over to investigate, thought I had a flat, didn't, but I suspect there's something sticking out of the tire making the noise, so lesson learned, investigate further when you hear a strange noise. But I have everything I need, so let's get to it. The one thing that will be interesting is I've brought the CO2 cartridge and I've not used that before, so I'll be able to get good pressure, but hopefully I won't blow up my tire, so let's get on with it. Alright, so step one, getting the tire off the rim. So you use the lever and then you hook it around the spoke like that, and then use the second lever to pry the tire off. So that is step one. The tire's off, new inner tube is on. Now I'm just going to see how to use these CO2 cartridges. I just learned how not to use a CO2 pump. Fail, fail, fail. So luckily there are a ton of cyclists coming up and down this road offering help. So the next one is going to be the lucky one who's going to help me, hopefully. Who has a pump? Oh, should have brought a pump. Oh, should have tried this at home. Anyway, let's see if we can get some help.
You've got two gases with you?
No, I've learned that lesson too. Thank you. Yes. As you can see, I had a wonderful cycling club stop and help me. I had much help, and I'm at the top of the hill, which makes it easier to get people to stop and help, I think, than if you're being zipped past at the bottom. I'm a little chilly now, so I put on my rain jacket, but I'm sure I'll be warm again soon. But yes, apparently I was talking to the guys who helped me, and the CO2 cartridges, there's a knack to it, so I'm going to practice with an old tire at home and see how I get on. Probably waste a few, but sorry, freezing cold. It's actually really warm. It's like 10 degrees, but you know, stopped after sweating. So yeah, I'm off again. Should be to Box Hill soon, and yes. So cyclists are great, aren't they? Anyway, thanks guys if you're watching this, thanks for helping, and yeah, off again.
I love seeing this father and daughter out for a ride together. I saw father and his son out as well earlier, so I just love seeing the youngsters out. And this is the around more common downhill. It's really rough, and I just wanted to see if the GoPro 6 could handle it with my new setup, and it did very well. Pass number 2 jerk of the day. So unnecessarily close and so fast for that kind of closeness. It's just disrespectful. And here we have the start of Box Hill, and as you can see, it's a busy day. So the hill has a parking lot at the top, and a lot of people go up to the top and start their hikes from the top of the hill. There's all sorts of trails around here.
You okay?
And as you can see, I'm returning the favor of a stranded cyclist, but he was doing well on his own. So this is the first corner on Box Hill, and as you can see, it is a lovely surface on Box Hill. You may have seen my Ride 100 video where I show a bunch of Box Hill on that as well, and it's just a really fun hill. It's not a scary hill as far as it's not a really rough, steep climb. It's just, you know, takes about 10 minutes to do, give or take a few minutes depending on how strong you are. And it's a beautiful road though. It's, you know, not terribly steep. It does hit 6% very briefly at the beginning, I think, just to scare you. And just make sure when you get to this part, after the second bend, where the squiggles are, that you don't forget to look to your right, because there are some fantastic views. And then at the top, after the cafe, there's a lookout, so you can stop and get your picture there.
A few bikes. So coffee break over, so time to get back on the road before the real rain comes. It's getting darker and foggier and wetter by the minute. So yeah, this is one of the cafes I stop at regularly at the top of Box Hill. It's called Destination Bike, and there's some very, very nice bikes in there.
On this route I was using, I very quickly realized I was on Roundabout City route. This is a route a lot of clubs seem to like to use to get back into London, and I really don't like it. It's a series of roundabouts on busy roads, and so I decided at one point to discontinue this route and make my own way, because I started seeing signs for Kingston, and I do know my way from Kingston home quite well.
Store my bike, not in a diamond set. Yeah.
I am back in Richmond Park. The adventure continued. I went off-piste. I decided to not follow the route at a certain point. It was just being just felt a little awkward, and I could see the signs on the cycleway to Kingston, and I know my way from Kingston, so I thought I'd follow it. Not the best idea, I should know that. The cycleways tend to not be great. So anyway, yeah, I went off-piste, got a little bit lost, and at some point during that, my Garmin stopped. I mean, as in, like, when you stop it yourself, and I didn't notice because I was dealing with the traffic and stuff. And then as I got closer, was going through Kingston, I noticed I'd been going the distance of 60k for a long time, and it wasn't clocking up. And I realized I was on stop mode, so it says now I've gone 63k. I think I've probably gone 75, so I'm not sure if it put itself in stop when I went out of navigation mode. I don't know. Which means for my training this week, I'm going to have to make it up tomorrow, because if it's not on Strava, it doesn't count, unfortunately. And my goal this week is 193k. So I'll be adding to my hill climbing in the virtual world tomorrow, I think. But other than that, it's been so warm. Oh, it's so nice to be out and not be cold. I mean, I was cold when I wasn't moving, which is normal for me, but not cold, so I could literally stay out for hours and hours if I wanted to. But, well, my luck is good. I'm going to get home because I have a feeling it is eventually going to rain. It's been a little messy today, and my new I have new toe covers, which are perfect for spring. They cover the vents in your shoes to keep your toes warm, so they were perfect also for keeping the wet from the roads off. But my legs, look at that. Oh, complete mess. Anyway, time to get a shower.